You're working on perfect art. That's all I'm saying, Rare.
Today on X-Play, CVC Stat, Chem 3 and Lavage. It's ER the game, plus DOA 4, Puyo Pop Fever, and our review of Advent Rising. Those can't be real. It's game time. The power of Christ compels you to watch Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
I don't think it's gonna go. And I do love a good exorcism. It's like a deep tissue massage for your soul.
Welcome to X-Play, one of the few forms of entertainment not yet condemned by the Vatican.
Not yet.
Good point. On today's show, we review the ER game, which is as fresh and exciting as any game based on a 10-year-old television drama with none of the original cast members.
And we've got Puyo Pop Fever, a Japanese puzzle game as addictive as it is foreign.
Plus, we've got a preview of DOA 4 for the Xbox 360 and a review of a Fire Emblem RPG for the GBA.
And a space action game with fewer original plot points than an episode of That's So Raven.
But first off, have you ever been playing a really bad RPG and said, wow, I wish this had more Sherry Stringfield in it? Well, your prayers have just been answered. Here's ER. Are you ready for intense drama? Can you handle political intrigue? Are you prepared to color coordinate? Ooh, that's nice. Then welcome to Chicago's County General Hospital. This is the high-stress game world of ER, or as I like to call it, The television drama game Invasion continues. First, there's Law & Order, then CSI, then CSI Miami, then about 6 more Law & Orders, and now You'll play as a young Padawan intern ready to save lives, but first, you must be trained. As with all great pupils, you'll be trained by the best. Perhaps the greatest fake doctor in the history of television, Noah Wiley, will fulfill his contractual obligation and school you in the ways of fake medicine.
The proof is in the pudding. Do a good job. Keep your nose clean. Save some lives, and I'm sure this will blow over.
Once you've completed your training, you'll be ready to save lives, right after some yoga. Oh, yeah. That's good. I can really feel it in my hammy now. If someone took an RPG, removed all the action and cutscenes, and replaced them with fully interactive 3D tedium, you'd have this game. You'll walk around the hospital, clicking and clicking and clicking. Yes, you click to send a patient to a bed, click to send them to the lab, click to heal them, which looks oddly like a faith healing by a witch doctor. Anyway, back to the clicking. You'll click to move your character, and sometimes they'll listen to you. Once you've clicked enough, you can improve your doctor stats by clicking. The box proclaims, in addition to taking on medical challenges, you will have to deal with hospital politics, make decisions on gut-wrenching ethical dilemmas, and establish personal relationships, even romances. I never really faced an ethical dilemma, but I did try and start a romance or two. As sexy as it sounds to shag an RN in the trauma ward, much like in real life, there's no real benefit to talking to coworkers. It's hard enough to keep your doctors rested and fed. Trying to throw in a romance will only cause the waiting room to back up. Then the boss will yell at you.
I'm disappointed in your priorities, Doctor. You need to put the patients first.
And if it gets really bad, that's when the zombies come for you. What happened?
I don't know. I was playing the ER game. I just looked away for a second and it shut down. Is it gonna make it?
I've never lost a computer on my shift, and I'm not starting now. What I need is a heat sink at 10 cc and a heat sink stat. I also need 10 cc's of thermal compound stat. Also, give me a reading on this hard drive.
It's not responding.
Do a scan disk now.
The CPU, it's overheating.
God damn it, I'm not gonna lose you. Okay, we gotta reboot. Give me a boot disk.
It's too late. There's nothing more you can do.
No.
Adam,
Something.
call it.
ER gets a 2 out of 5.
And may God have mercy on its soul.
The bathroom is this way. It's always this way.
To be perfectly clear, there are no actual zombies in this game, though Noah Wiley's voice acting does come frighteningly close.
After playing this game, I realized exactly what's wrong with America's healthcare system. It turns out that saving lives is very, very boring.
Almost as boring as watching ER.
But if video game doctors are lame, video game diseases can be fun. Here's a review of Polio Pop Fever.
When you're working in the X-Play offices, it's hard not to catch something from your coworkers. Spring fever, baseball fever, Saturday night fever. Recently, a new type of fever has started to spread around the office. Symptoms include sweating, twitching, frustration, multicolored blobs, and I think we kind of like it. No, it's not that kind of fever. I'm talking about Polio Pop Fever for the DS. Polio Pop Fever is the latest in a long line of puzzle battle games. Connect 4 Poyos, that's these blob things, of the same color together to make them disappear. Every time you complete a Poyo match, you send a nuisance Poyo over to your opponent, shower them with a couple, or bury them up to their dilated eyeballs in transparent Poyo by clearing out several chains of Poyo all at once. Flame! Your opponent can launch their own nuisance blitz on you as well. How do you then protect yourself from these bothersome bombardments, these translucent transgressions? By matching Poyo, you can delay the inevitable shower of annoyance. For every Poyo you delay, your fever meter builds until you reach fever mode. This new addition to the Polio Pop world lets you play out a minigame during your battle. A screen filled with Poyo will appear. The next Poyo you place will most likely clear the screen and send a small army of nuisance Poyo at your opponent. This will all become clear during the story mode. Just skip over the story. Trust me on this one. Polio Pop Fever starts out like a cute little bunny. Oh, this is easy. Wicked! That's right, cry your little anime eyes for me. And then turns on you like a cute bunny of death. The game reels you in with a simple idea and keeps you there with its surprising complexity. Polio Pop goes a step further by allowing up to 7 other players to join in on one cartridge. That's what I call spreading the infection. What more could we want? The game plays well on one screen, but somehow they forgot about the second screen. What is this? No, seriously, what are they doing? Polio Pop Fever presents one of the best puzzle experiences for the DS with colorful characters and complex gameplay. That's why we give Polio Pop Fever a 4 out of 5. Beware the bunny. Ah, run away, run away!
That said onion pixie.
It did.
What is an onion pixie?
It's Japanese.
Oh,
yeah.
Just to clarify, were those drippy things supposed to be snot?
No, they're like gumdroppy things, I think.
But it's supposed to be a fever, and those colored drippy things, how do we know that they're not mucus or phlegm or something?
Well, if it's snot that's brightly colored and adorable, I'm willing to live with that.
You live with snot?
We all.
Coming up, Dead or Alive returns in DOA 4.
Nice, physics.
Brought to you by Jeep. Trail-rated capability only in a Jeep 4x4.
You asked me to do some research on the Chrysler Group?
I'm waiting.
They have their most award-winning and freshest lineup ever. 12 vehicles with 5-star frontal crash test rating and projected to retain their value better than GM or Ford.
Yada, yada, yada. You forgot the most important part of all, the deal.
It's employee pricing plus our employee discount plus up to an extra $3,500 cash allowance.
So I'd say if you can find a better car, buy it.
Couldn't have said it better myself, kid.
The Nextel Summer Power Surge. Take an extra $50 off now through July 24th. For a limited time, that's an extra $50 off the Sharp i836, the i860 with video recorder and camera, the advanced i730, or the new i275 with camera, all with walkie-talkie, GPS capability, and speakerphone. Call 866-708-DONE. Hurry, summer savings end July 24th. Call 866-708-DONE now.
These young people are up for a good time, but mix their good times with muscle cars and reckless driving, and their groovy cruise will become a ride of peril.
It's flat out. Compete in high-speed, full-throttle racing, then hit the construction derby and trash everything, even the driver. In Flat Out, you also compete in 6 bonus games where you hurl that little hunk out the windshield. Want the most destructive racing game out there? You want Flat Out.
Awesome! Oh!
Rated T for teen.
at a unique summer camp for the paranormally gifted.
Don't you train psychonauts here?
The counselors have secrets to hide.
We're gonna remove your brain and make it shoot down innocent civilians with its psychic death beam.
Now you must stop an evil genius from leaving the world brainless. One of our favorite games ever, says official Xbox magazine.
In other words, Psychonauts!
Report to Psychonauts.com to start your psychic adventure. Rated T for Teen.
Carol Sanderson as Boundless Energy and Drive. At Medford High, Carol is editor of the paper, dive team captain, head of the Future CEOs Club, prom queen, and still has the energy to learn Mandarin Chinese. Lovely, Carol. So be Adrenaline Rush. Energy for the rest of us.
The summer's hottest movie is this year's hottest game. Game Informer raves. Fantastic Four has awesome powers, and GamePro calls it the ultimate adventure. Fantastic Four, the game, rated teen.
On the next attack of the show, Jeff Smith, creator of the comic book Bone. Plus, Frugality saves you tons of cash, and a look at the best of the best import games. It's Attack of the Show, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific.
You want Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb? You can't handle Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
They seem to be handling us just fine, don't they?
Yes, but pregnant women should never handle broken Adam Sesslers and Morgan Webb. Welcome back to X-Play. 3D fighting games. They've long been a form for developers to highlight the graphic capabilities of a platform. And by graphic capabilities, I mean, well...
Boobs.
Yes, the Dead or Alive series has thoroughly explored this area.
Boobs.
Yes. In all of its previous incarnations, including 2003's Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball, which was downright...
Yeah, boob-centric?
I was thinking more like boob-bastic.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say.
Yes.
Point is, with the Xbox 360 on its way, folks at Team Ninja have set themselves the task of figuring out just how high a quality of software...
He means boobs.
...this hardware can create. Here's our preview of Dead or Alive 4.
When launching the next generation of consoles, you'll need games with rabid fan bases, games willing to push the limits, games with really big explosions. Dead or Alive 4 sets out to do just that. Dead or Alive has always been a fighting game that offers up rich graphics, unique environments, and big hits. Ever since DOA 3, the Dead or Alive series has been an exclusive title for the Xbox. It's little wonder that Microsoft would want one of its biggest titles to headline the launch of the Xbox 360. As you can tell by the graphics, the developers over at Team Ninja really want to flex the power behind the Xbox 360. Check out the fluidity of motion, the texture in the clothing, the hair on the monkeys. Some games would be satisfied with one good-looking monkey in the background. DOA 4 promises 108 of the finest primates. If this much care is put into the small details, we can only hope they put even more into the gameplay itself. Developers have already admitted that what you're seeing now is little more than half the power of the final product. DOA 4 delivers everything that you would expect from a sequel. New environments, new moves, and new characters. From the mysterious Kokoro, to the young prodigy Elliot, to the luscious Lucha Libre. The game promises more new characters, along with a returning cast of fan favorites. Hello, Nurse! DOA developers plan to overhaul their existing counterattack system. There's nothing quite like punishing an aggressive opponent. Designers plan to make a deeper system to separate the button mashers from the masters. Environments are more than just a pretty picture in this game. Use the world around you to punish your opponent. Wonder how big some of these places really are? Developers say that if you want to see everything a level has to offer, you'll need to stop fighting and start running just to reach a wall. Think your next challenger is waiting down the block? Try the next state, or on the other side of the world. With 360's commitment to connectivity, DOA 4 promises one of the best online experiences yet. Plans are in the works for global tournaments, plans, and even a virtual lobby area where players can just hang out. I felt that one. With everything we know, there's still a lot that we still don't know about this game. How will the game feel running on the 360 system? What changes will they make to DOA 4 before launching the title? These questions, as well as many others, will just have to wait until this holiday season when DOA 4 comes nipping at the heels of the Xbox 360.
Really? Honestly? Does it make sense to have an entire genre of fighter entirely devoted to digital representations of lady parts?
Yeah.
Up next, Fire Emblem, the Sacred Stone, breathes new life into the GBA.
Okay, buddy, let's do it.
For men, competition is a 24/7 thing that demands the protection of new Speed Stick 24/7. That's why they developed the microabsorber technology in new Speed Stick 24/7. Powerful particles that can absorb up to 100 times their weight in wetness, keeping you drier. And ready for even the most demanding competition. New Speed Stick 24/7 with microabsorber technology, keeping men drier 24/7.
Frustrated with high-priced internet providers cleaning you out? They charge over $20 a month for service that should cost half of that. It's time you tried People PC Online. With People PC Online, you get unlimited internet access for only $10.95 a month. Go to peoplepc.com now to try us free for 30 days and compare us with your current ISP. People PC Online has all the features you'd expect from the big ISPs and a few things you might not, like virus blocker software to help protect your computer from harmful email viruses, more local access numbers than AOL, and a smart dialer for faster, more reliable connections, all for just $10.95 a month. No wonder over 500,000 people have switched to People PC Online in the last year. To try us free for 30 days, go to peoplepc.com for a quick download of our easy-to-use software or call 1-800-537-2017. People PC Online, a better way to internet.
They're still mostly harmless. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Mostly.
Mostly. Welcome back to X-Play. Role-playing games vary from the vast complexity of a massively multiplayer universe to the quiet simplicity of Pokemon.
But at their core, they share one thing in common, being so astoundingly dorky and complex that after playing one, you'll lose the ability to talk about anything but hit points and defensive stances.
The Fire Emblem series has raised the stakes on handheld RPGs, adding in complex political struggles, fascinating hair colors, and surprisingly fun gameplay. Here's our review of Fire Emblem, the Sacred Stones.
Aw, poor little GBA. Had nothing to do since your big brother DS has been hogging the spotlight. Well, prepare to be dusted off, because Fire Emblem is back and ready for drooling fans to get their RPG on. The sequel is called Fire Emblem, the Sacred Stones. Not to be confused with the Chakra Stones in Temple of Doom.
Cover your heart!
The story? Well, let's see what comes out of the RPG plot cliché 3000 computer. The usual stuff. Power Mad King attacking neighboring kingdoms? Yes. Pair of royal twin siblings flee their kingdom in separate directions to discover their fate? Uh-huh. A bunch of multicolor-haired misfits and heroes you meet along the way? Done and done. Looks like purple is in this season. I mean, seriously, who is these people's hairstylist? Dennis Rodman?
Remember me, kids? I used to play basketball and be a clever punchline.
Not to mention it has an assload of slow-scrolling, mind-numbing cutscenes that take up half your gameplay time.
Are words useless? Well, here they are.
Am I playing a game here, or am I reading Prince Valiant in the Sunday comics? If that's not enough, the speech bubbles sound like a one-note xylophone player on crack. But not to worry, the cutscenes can be washed away by the click of a single button. But how will I know if the princess and her brother will find each other? Will the fate of the kingdom be restored? And what's going on here? Who cares? This is still one of the best strategy RPGs you will ever play. While it doesn't exceed its predecessor, the gameplay is so rock solid you won't even give a darn. The flow of battle works as such. Begin a fight outnumbered, soil your armor, then slowly take control of your territory with the help of spontaneous backup.
I can't allow this to happen.
It's like a medieval Bloods versus Crips, except without all the caps and asses and whatnot. One of the things that really adds to the strategy is permanent death. If a character loses all their life points, so long, sucka.
I don't want to die.
Aw, Loot, we hardly knew ya. In combat mode, you can equip multiple weapons to your fighter's class, and each weapon may work at a different range. Use a weapon too much, it breaks. There's even a rock, paper, scissors aspect of weapon versus weapon clashing. I know paper beats rock, but axe beats head. The colors in this game have been turned up to 11. The backgrounds and battlefields are lush and vibrant. Not a color was spared, including purple, red, and hot pink. Did I mention that all the characters have bright colored hair? So if you, like many, bow down to the RPG altar, then there is no reason why you should not pick up this game. Except maybe this guy.
Arg, blast.
We give Fire Emblem the Sacred Stones a 4 out of 5.
Arg, blast. That's kind of catchy.
Arg! I do feel that modern American life really could use more faux medieval pirate cursing.
Also, you know what? We could really use a Japanese RPG where all the male characters didn't look like they were aspiring drag queens.
Hey, let's just stick to the fights we can win. Blast.
Coming up, will Advent Rising be the biggest surprise or the biggest flop of 2005? Oh, we'll tell you.
They did a bad, bad thing. They did it.
Dodgeball unrated DVD.
Peekaboo! Real freaking naughty.
Dodgeball. Own it today.
Well, at least that wasn't weird.
Verizon Broadband, the world's most advanced network, can make any online gamer's reflexes unbeatable. No matter who they are.
New Dentine Ice Vanilla Chill. Icy cold breath, shockingly smooth taste.
Give me a piece of that.
Share it with somebody special. New Dentine Ice Vanilla Chill.
Dude, that's cold.
Too bad she dumped you.
Shit, dummy, we're just taking a break.
Right, that's good. Can't believe you locked this thing, man.
Sweet! Let's roll. Wait, what? Ooh. Not cool.
How about a do? Thanks.
Hey, gamer, want to go to G4ia, the video game award show? EB Games and G4 present the Watch to Win sweepstakes. It's really easy. All you have to do is go to your local EB Games, buy a game, and you'll get a sticker. Your sticker has a code. Watch G4, and when you see the pop-up that says, enter your EB Games code now, go online at g4tv.com, enter your code, and you and a friend could get a trip to Hollywood and a ticket to G4ia. We'll even give you an award. The Watch to Win sweepstakes, presented by EB Games and G4. For more info, go to g4tv.com/win.
Impose your opinion. Join the race to G4ia and have a look at the nominees for Best Traditional Sports Game and Best Handheld Game. The race to G4ia continues Tuesday at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific.
Tune in, turn on, drop out of Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
I think a lot of the kids don't know what that means.
No.
Ask Mommy and Daddy.
Yeah.
Welcome back to X-Play. If there's anything worse than a bad game, it's a bad game that sincerely thinks it's a good game.
Like Drew Barrymore wearing glasses, you can't add a veneer of intelligence to a game that sucks by giving it a fancy-sounding name or an excruciatingly long expository cutscene.
On a completely unrelated note, we have a review of Advent Rising.
If you haven't heard of it, this is the game with storyline written by sci-fi author Orson Scott Card.
He's the author of Ender's Game and the ensuing series of Ender's books, none of which were as good as the original novel.
And since Advent Rising is the first in a trilogy of games, we sure hope the first one is good because it's all downhill from there.
So we really, really hope this one is engaging enough to make us excited for the sequels.
Here's your review of Advent Rising.
Ooh. When a game's called Advent Rising, you can typically smell the sense of importance wafting from the DVD case. It smells like Roger Waters on fire. But it doesn't stop at the packaging. This is the beginning of Advent Rising. Important cinematic opening, big things are happening.
How big is this thing?
It's big. Then it switches to important, slow-moving gameplay. But it's really easy to not realize that you're supposed to control the ship. No. That would break the illusion of futuristic boredom. Then you have to walk. Okay, I dance. But you have to do it through miles of an uninteresting space station where everyone ignores you. Whoever thought this would help articulate a fully realized world should realize that stale matzah covered in Marmite engenders a stronger reaction than this Tomorrowland cafeteria. Then the story starts. I know it's a big old deal that space scribe Orson Scott Card wrote this self-professed epic, but doesn't he undermine it with characters like this?
A what? A complete language dump. Suck up, brother.
Oh.
So there's these good aliens who apparently haven't seen a Jimmy Fallon movie, and as a result, revere the human race.
Glorious humans.
And then there's these bad aliens called Seekers. I don't know what they're seeking, but from the look of it, it's a role in the next Halo game. So finally the game starts, right? Well, if you consider dragging your buddy's limp ass through more of this space Holiday Inn, then yes. Finally, you get to start killing things. Which, to the game's credit, is fast, furious, and frequent. Although, in the interest of consistency, the combat's as screwed up as Edward Furlong in Bolivia. See, there's a lot of enemies, so you need to target one to shoot them, and the targeting works by flicking the right analog stick. Curiously, you also move the camera with the right analog stick, so you'll find yourself accidentally targeting enemies all over the place. Oh yeah, the game also likes to auto-target whenever it will, so you'll be playing some obnoxious game of homicidal semaphore. Huh. Now that sounds familiar.
What you get is Drake chaotically throwing his arms every which way like a sub-homicidal semaphore session.
No, the game isn't as bad as that, but it has the slideshow effect of a bad frame rate, graphics as stunning as a bowl of rice, and it's also clearly suckled from the creative teat of Halo that the Bungie guys must be feeling mighty tender right now. What's so sad is that somewhere in the formica corners of Advent Rising, you can see a fun, entertaining game yearning to get out. Instead, there's a whole bunch of overblown concepts that get so in the way of the game that it trips over itself to a 2 out of 5.
I'm gonna feel that one in the morning.
Of course, even if it's a bad game, but you can win $1 million if you play it.
That's almost enough of a reason. That game was less original than an Adam Sandler movie.
Now, those aliens look just like the ones from Halo. How stupid do they think we are?
Apparently stupid enough to dip back into our mailbags for some more viewer mail.
However, today's viewer mail is actually interesting because it's from a PhD. All right, here it goes. I'm a child psychologist, and I'd like to hear your thoughts about video game addiction. I've met more than a few people who have lost careers, marriages, and college scholarships to games like Unreal and EverQuest. Any idea of why some people just fall into these games and let their lives collapse around them?
Unreal is fun.
Yeah, maybe it's because they're lonely and
unsatisfied with the real world around them, so they turn to video games for some solace.
My other theory is
people turn to drinking.
I'm a big fan of cause and effect. So when you hit the button and something happens, and then it's a good thing. That's good. And so then you do it again. It's like gambling.
As opposed to feelings of impotence in their real life. See, I should be a psychologist. I'm good at this.
Yeah, you're great. Actually, okay. So I had this dream last night.
Yeah. What was it about?
It was while I was fighting a giant squid.
Yeah. Did you win or did the squid win?
I woke up before it was all over.
Okay. Did you wake up screaming like usual? Yeah. Okay.
Today on X-Play.